Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome for the first time if you are new. We are back to watch another episode of the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is episode 4. This one is called Into the Dark, and I assume it is the episode where we fully meet King Bumi, and so I'm pretty excited about that. I liked Bumi a lot in the original cartoon, and I'm very curious to see how he comes across in the live action. So before we do this, if you end up enjoying my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon or joining YouTube memberships. You just sync up your own copy of the show and you can watch along with me. Other than that, let's jump into episode 4 of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
There's been a mistake. The fires weren't my fault, and neither was the fight.
Save your voice. Earth Kingdom soldiers aren't
Iroh
particularly
is
tolerant.
in jail as well.
General Iroh.
What's up,
It's
brother?
good to see you, young Avatar.
And Zuko. They captured him too?
I hope not.
This is all his fault. He started the fight and left you behind and ran away. I'm really starting to see what kind of person he is.
He was told to do that.
Were you helping the firebenders?
Yes. Tells the truth.
Yes. We do what we must to survive. We compromise
Yeah.
just enough to get by.
My father would have never done what you did.
Yeah.
Aang's in prison.
Okay, well, let's see what happens.
Hey.
100 years ago.
Hey, Aang. Oh, hey, Boomy. How's training going?
Little Boomy.
What happened here happened the world over. That's what a century of war will do.
A war started by the Fire Nation. And a war the Fire Nation could end.
Zuko's victory lies not in winning the war, but in winning his life back.
You could show him this isn't the way.
Yeah, he
He'll
just
listen
wants
to
to be
you.
welcomed home.
He owes you that much.
On the contrary, it is I who owe him. Far more than I can ever repay.
What about the tunnels?
Tunnels?
The secret
Yeah.
tunnels, hidden under the mountain. It's said that the founders of the city used them to meet without anyone knowing.
Hell yeah.
Fairy tale.
Secret tunnel. Under the mountain.
Yes, there are tunnels, but they're unstable. Those who go in never come out. If you believe the tales, vengeful spirits guard the passages.
So, not just secret tunnels, secret...
Haunted secret
Haunted
tunnels.
tunnels?
Yeah.
Where are you taking him?
To the pit.
The pit?
An Earth Kingdom labor camp for prisoners of war.
We love the pit.
No one who's been sent there has ever been heard from again.
Iroh, going to the pit. Yo, that's cool.
Your Highness.
A little ball he can roll on.
Lotus root, pine bark, dried jasmine.
Yeah, indeed, that's what he
Lotus
smells.
root, pine bark, dried jasmine, scalding hot water, steep for 2 minutes.
Oh no, he wants a bath.
Tea?
Tea? Never mind.
He is the master of all 4 elements, the savior of the world. He is
The Avatar.
the Avatar. And he's very, very good at rock skipping. Ooh.
Boomy?
Hello, Aang.
He's old as hell.
Pine bark? What idiot told you to put pine bark in it?
I think you did.
You did.
Boomy, you crazy, bro.
Jet.
Dude, what are you doing here? Go
You
away.
betrayed us.
You're a terrorist.
Spies, traitors, is that who you wanted to save?
Not everyone out there is the enemy.
If you stand against us,
If you're not with me,
you are.
then you're my enemy.
You're fighting because of hate,
Yep.
just like the Firebenders.
I am nothing like the Firebenders.
Oh, bitch. She says, sit down, son. Oh, buddy. You stuck, son.
Goodbye, Jet.
Look at the power you have. That's because of me.
That wasn't you. That was me.
Yeah.
So, frozen in an iceberg for 100 years, huh? That must
Yeah.
have been nice.
No, it was a nightmare.
Ah, come on.
He didn't remember it.
The world is on fire. People are dying, and you got to sleep through it all.
All the airbenders were wiped out.
Yeah.
Have you been fighting the same fight for a century? Have you watched your whole world burn down around you?
Boomy's been going through it, brother.
You may be 100 years old, but you
Still naive.
haven't lived for 100 years. Especially not these 100 years.
Interesting.
When you find yourself in darkness, jewel of my heart, jewel of my heart.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to go in there.
We don't have a choice. We have to find our friend.
Well, in that case,
You need a
probably
song.
see this. It's a tale of two lovers.
Two lovers.
Oma and Shu met on top of the
Forbidden
mountain that
one
divided their two
another.
villages.
A war divides
The villages were
their
enemies,
people.
so they couldn't be together. But their love was strong,
And
so they found a way.
mountain divides them
They learned earthbending from the badger
apart.
moles. They built elaborate tunnels so that they could meet secretly.
Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel. Through the mountain.
She'd been killed in an attack.
Oh, rip?
Both villages helped her build a new city where they would live together in peace. The great city was named Omashu as a monument to their love.
Okay. Lovers
It'll be okay.
forbidden from
There's nothing to be afraid of in there.
Right.
There's
no such thing as angry spirits.
And a secret tunnel through the mountain. Secret, 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 secret tunnel. Yeah.
They're doomed.
Yeah, they are. It's fine.
It's a long ride to
rude.
the pit. And I've got all the time in the world.
It's a long ride over to the pit. Hansel and Gretel, baby. That's the path. Follow the path.
I'm coming, Uncle.
Damn right you are.
You see that?
It's thousands of sky.
Well, what do you know? Love is brightest in the dark. Get it? It was a clue.
Follow this. Follow.
Asaka, wait!
Katara, what is your problem?
My problem is you're not taking me seriously. I'm not a little girl anymore.
Yet you keep acting like one.
And you keep acting like you know everything when you couldn't even tell that a traitor was flat out lying to you.
Says the girl who fell for a terrorist.
That's not what happened.
You should have.
You did fall for a terrorist.
Dad put me in charge.
You're not Dad!
I'm on Sokka's side, honestly.
Imagine if Gran could see us now.
Who cares about Gran? Damn, that's a lot of water left in that.
Firebenders don't need water, right?
That's your own water thing. Why are you just chucking it on the ground?
No, Bossing say
Gigantic loser.
the city had to ration fresh water after the first year of the siege. Being in the military, we got special privileges. My brother, though, he had a soft heart.
You had family that died.
He was on watch the night you torched the Eastern Wall.
Yeah.
By the time we put the fires out, there was nothing left of him to bury.
Oof.
All those lives lost. All that fighting.
For
And
what?
Bossing say still stands. Was it worth it?
No. He just loves chucking useful stuff on the ground.
War pushes us to the edge. Some of us don't like what we find there.
Is that your pitiful way of saying you're sorry for what you did?
Yeah.
I wasn't talking about me.
Do it, pussy. You won't.
Sir.
Punk ass bitch. Think Iroh's scared of you?
Oh, it's true, isn't it? You have no humanity. You know nothing of loss.
Don't speak on things you don't know, brother.
Is it true he abandoned the siege?
Yes, after his son was killed.
So, his son dies a hero and he'll be forever known as a coward.
Yeah? He looks like a Jedi in the High Republic.
Lieutenant gave me this. He'd won it for finishing first.
Oh, the
his
music
officer
playing in the
class.
background. Oh, no.
He said it should belong to someone destined to do great things.
Oh,
Gave me
I didn't
strength.
catch it at first. Oh.
Lieutenant never needed it because he was the strongest person I knew.
God, Zuko's such a good kid. God, the most heartbreaking part of this entire show.
Jet might have gone down the wrong path, but he was pushed that way. Just like Sai was.
And yet, he still made choices that he has to deal with.
This shouldn't be here.
It's moving.
We were here before, but this wall wasn't.
How is that possible?
The walls are moving.
Unless
The
tunnels are changing.
That's why no one comes out of here.
The Boomy I know is a fun-loving, happy kid who loves to skip rocks and always thinks about his friends.
Kid. He's an old-ass man now.
I believe that kid is still in there.
Decades and decades of life.
It's all about games with you, isn't it, Avatar? Who cares about responsibility? Who cares about, saving the world? More fun to goof off, am I right?
Yep.
One final game to play, Avatar. The simplest one of all.
Survive.
You versus me.
Boomy's still yoked, brother. To the death. I don't know about that. Was there a giant's creature to lead the way? Badger mole.
Badger mole.
Hey, Badger mole, we're chill. We're chill. Leave us alone. Everything's Gucci. Okay. Let's go, son. Pop off. Let's go, Zuko. Oh. He's got flame chains.
Do it.
No.
Do it! We've all seen enough death.
Knock you unconscious at least. Cauterize the wound.
You're okay.
We need to go.
Can you cauterize the wound? Yeah, splash of water. Play music. Two lovers forbidden from one another. A war.
What's going on? Are we dead?
Love showed the way. The badger mole is blind.
It's blind.
So they respond to love?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Excuse me, Mr. Badgermole. We'd really appreciate if you could show us the way to the palace. Please?
Totes. Yeah, he's ready. Boomy's been practicing, brother.
You left us.
You left him.
You were the Avatar.
Oh, he's crying.
And you left us.
Single tier acting school from Boomy.
Especially your friends.
He's just sad. Give him a hug, Aang. Okay. Some decent bending.
As fun as this has been, it's time for the games to end.
I feel like that's a structural piece of this building. Yeah.
Lumi, I can't hold both of them. Help me!
Let it fall. And you win!
Lumi, this isn't a game!
Yes, it is. One that requires you to make impossible choices. Do I save this town or that? You have to save the whole world. Let it fall.
Just letting him know the responsibility.
Learn what it means to be the Avatar.
Going to the Avatar state. Not if he has friends. Oh, hell yeah. Bitchin'. Yo, you could have sauced those to the side the whole time. What you talking about?
You think like a child.
He is a child.
Remember this? I use it to call a friend. That's what I'm gonna do now. Call on an old friend.
Lick it.
Fire Nation forces are on the move. They'll be here by dawn.
You're under attack?
We will be. But we will be ready. Fortunately, a source tipped us off.
Hell yeah, buddy.
So? The Mechanist alerted the generals to a network of spies in the city. Helped us round them up.
Good work.
It's time Mwashu rejoined the war. Oh, but I do have one more challenge for you.
Surfing, yeah.
My cabbages!
No, the cabbages.
Ah, good. It's not too late.
What are you doing here, Uncle?
Same as you. Getting ready to embark on what is sure to be a memorable journey.
You want to come with me?
I've come fully prepared.
You helped
All
him
the tea I need.
when he was at his lowest. No, he's here to help
I don't
you.
need a babysitter.
How about a friend?
Oh, the music again.
My father made it very clear that I'm not to return until I find the Avatar. Which means it could be a very long time before we return home.
Yep.
Home.
Home is where the heart is.
Everything I need is on this boat. Like I said, all the tea I need.
Oh, god damn. They're so good.
What is it, Zuko?
Nothing. Let's get you home.
You know, there are elements to this adaptation that I really, really don't like. But there are elements of it that are so good. Like, oh my god, like certain things they do just hit and it works so well, and then other elements don't work at all. It's like it's a mixed bag. Like I can't determine exactly how I feel. I know what things I like for sure. Pretty much everything so far that involves Zuko and Iroh, I'm a big fan of. I love their interactions. Just like, even like, I feel like they translated the relationship between these two characters so well from the animated show to the live action, and even added some things that weren't in the like regular original show that works so well here. Like the scene where he gives him the medal that his son had, and you know, is like, he's the strongest person I knew. That moment worked so well, because we have the moment earlier in the episode when someone's like, oh, he's talking to Aang, and Aang is like, you know, he should essentially rescue you or whatever. Like, it's the least that he owes you, and Iroh is like, I owe him everything, and you're wondering, you're like, okay, exactly what does he mean by that? And then you get essentially the follow up to that scene when they're at his son's funeral, and he is literally the most broken he has ever been. Just this vulnerable old man, just sad. His son died. He gave up the invasion of Ba Sing Se. He could have taken it. He could have taken Ba Sing Se, and he chose not to because his son died. And, you know, the other soldier is like, you know nothing of loss. Like, his loss has driven him to be cruel and vindictive against the Fire Nation. Iroh's loss broke him completely, and he's just this sad, vulnerable man. And Zuko, before Zuko has been changed and scarred by his father, and has gone through that mental shift to anger when he's just a regular kid, has this moment of compassion for his uncle where he gives him this medal and is like, you know, he's the strongest person I knew. So in Iroh's lowest moment, Zuko is there. And then you get the follow-up to that part when Zuko is on the boat and he's got the bandage on, and he is in his lowest moment. You know, he's freshly banished, essentially, from the Fire Nation. You know, not officially banished, but unofficially banished. And Iroh shows up and is like, you know, I'm not going to let you go through this alone. When I was alone, you were there. So now when you are alone, I am here. Everything I need is on this boat. And it's like, oh, it's beautiful. And they undercut in the background both of those scenes with the music. Obviously, if you watched the original animated show, you know the song where he's singing to his lost son, and it's just even more sad because in the original animated show, Uncle Iroh was voiced by two different actors. The first, I forgot his name, is like Mako something, Mako. He voiced Iroh through season 1 and the majority of season 2. I think Greg Baldwin took over for a couple lines here and there for season 2, but one of the last things that the original Iroh performed for the show was this song "Leaves from the Vine," and it's Iroh singing about this lost soldier and is essentially singing about his son that died. It's one of the last things, if not the last thing, that the original voice actor did. I think he finished out season 2, I believe, and I don't know 100% exactly when. You know, people record things out of order all the time for shows and movies and things, so it's entirely possible that that was the last thing he did for the voice work, or if he did other things. Obviously there were more episodes after that, but from some parts of season 2 and then into season 3, he was a new voice actor because the old one died of cancer. And so it's just like within the Avatar fan community, it is a very heartbreaking episode and song, and to have the emotional beats of Iroh and Zuko in this episode scored using that song, it just hits so much harder. It is beautiful. And then having Zuko save Iroh, and at the end you see the Avatar fly over on Appa, and he chooses to not say anything. Like, he's just, at this point in the story, Zuko is almost like, you know what? I don't need the Avatar. I don't need any of that. I just need my uncle. Like, he could have chosen to go after the Avatar before, and then he chose his uncle instead, and then he could have mentioned it again at the end, but he chose not to. So the Zuko and Iroh elements of this series so far, I have loved, like really loved. I think it's fantastic. The Sokka and Katara elements, I'm starting to enjoy a lot more. Episode 1, I really didn't like either of them, because the line delivery felt so weird in episode 1, but every episode has gotten me more invested in their relationship. So I've really enjoyed that, and I enjoy seeing them interact and become closer as siblings. I enjoyed Boomy, but Boomy's so interesting because it's like, I simultaneously love Boomy but hate Boomy, because I don't know, Boomy's weird and I like him a lot, but it's tough. He's trying to teach Aang a lesson, and Aang doesn't want to hear it. He just wants his old friend back, and Boomy's like, yo, I'm still your old friend and I'm still weird as hell, but like, you gotta step up. Like, the world is under siege. You can't be playing games anymore. And that's arguably the thing that frustrated me the most in the original cartoon, is just how much Aang didn't want to do it. Like, he just, not like in the final moment of like, hey, I don't want to kill the Fire Lord, but like throughout the whole thing, he just is constantly avoiding responsibility and avoiding taking the role that he's meant to be in, of being the Avatar, and just like not doing what he should be doing. And so Boomy, I liked that Boomy is like, hey man, we're technically both 100 plus years old, but I've actually lived 100 years. Like, I know the hard decisions you have to make, and you're gonna have to make tough decisions if you want to save the world. And Aang is like, no, like, I don't want it. And it's like, brother, like, you gotta, like, you have to. That's the oh man, even all the, when I watched the original, all the way leading up to it, Aang is like, I don't want to kill the Fire Lord, and I'm like, just fucking do it, just kill him, please. And they pull something out of their ass in the finale where he's like, oh, it took away his bending, like a thing that was just never presented as a possibility up to that point. But then it happens. So like, the vast majority of the show, I was just so frustrated with Aang not wanting to, step up and do what's necessary. And so I liked Boomy kind of simultaneously being his weird old self, but being like, hey man, you gotta step your shit up and recognize the world you're in and the role you play. Like, you can't keep being a kid. Even though you are a kid, you also have to be the Avatar. And so I liked that. I liked it a lot. What else did I like? What else did I like? I think those were the things that I liked the most. There were some elements of the episode that were confusing a little bit. Well, not like confusing where I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm confusing as to like, why did they make this decision? And that, I think the biggest one was the secret tunnel sequence. In the animated show, they need to get through a mountain to get somewhere. I don't remember off the top of my head like the exact details of exactly what's happening in that scene, but they have to get through the mountain. And going around the mountain would take too long. So they need to go through the mountain. And they meet these people there, and they are like guiding them through the mountain, through these secret tunnel. And they're singing and having a great time. And it's very much played differently. Because we have Sokka and who was Sokka with in the tunnel? Sokka was with someone, but then it was Aang and Katara in their tunnel together, and it was played much more like romantically. Like they were truly like building up the romance aspect of Aang and Katara. And in this one, they chose to do a more like brother-sister reconciliation type love, and that somewhat leads me to believe that they are very much going to lean away from the romance between Aang and Katara in the live action, and I'm not opposed to that. Like, I don't hate that. Like, that was another aspect of the original that didn't land the best, right? Like, you have, throughout the whole show, you have Aang essentially having a crush on Katara, and Katara doesn't really like reciprocate that for the most part. Like, she either kind of just ignores it or like kind of treats him like a little brother, honestly, until like right near the end, and then they kiss, and it's even then it's still like not like a confirmed romantic feelings between both of them. Like, I feel like she gets jealous at a certain point in the series, but I don't quite remember. But then, yeah, apparently, like, they have kids and stuff. I haven't seen Legend of Korra yet, so I'm planning to watch that on the channel once I'm done with this. But, like, that was one element of the original cartoon that I never really bought into and kind of thought was a little weird, given, like, she's older than him and he's, like, a child. Like, age gaps aren't a bad thing when you're an adult, but like the younger you are, the more weird an age gap is. And so like when this kid is like 12 11 or 12 and Katara's like 15, 16, like the age gap just felt weird. Like, cool, he has a crush, I don't know if we need to lean into the romance aspect of it. And I think just based on everything I've seen so far, and granted I'm only 4 episodes in, but it gives me the vibe that they're planning on leaning away from that and not touching on that aspect, at least not right away. Just because I think also people might just be uncomfortable watching these two kids kiss, especially because the actor's still young that plays Aang. He's still a young kid, and the actress she's just gonna keep getting older. It's gonna be weird, and so I wouldn't hate that if they leaned away from the Aang and Katara romance and treated it more like a sibling relationship. Honestly, I wouldn't hate that. So that's one element of this show where I was confused as to like, why are we taking the secret tunnel sequence and from where it was and putting it into Omashu. And like, I didn't hate the like story the guy told. I was like, all right, whatever. It's different. That's not a bad thing. I was just confused as to why. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that I liked or was just like ambivalent about, I guess. There's one clear element of this show that I desperately do not like. And if you watched my last episode reaction, you know what it is. And I hate being this person because he's a child. But the actor for Aang is not good. It's just, he's so bad. He's so bad at acting. And he doesn't feel like Aang, and the line delivery and the acting performance overall just feels so fake and not genuine and just weird and uncomfortable. Like, it doesn't work. And that's sometimes the unfortunate reality of like child actors is sometimes they're just not good at acting. And that's the unfortunate reality as well. Is the main character of the show is a kid. You know, oftentimes in shows you can have a kid be in the show and have the child actor not be incredible, but it's fine because they're like an ancillary character. They don't play that big of a part. They're not the leading role who has the most dialogue in the show. Like, it's generally fine. But when you hinge your entire show on a character played by an actor who can't really act, it doesn't work. And literally almost every single line of dialogue, I'm just like, I want to just let out a big sigh the whole time and just be like, oh my god. Like, it's so hard, and I don't like being negative about shows and movies. I like being positive. I like looking for things to enjoy. And I am desperately trying to do that in this show. Like, I liked this episode better than last episode a whole lot, for sure. Last episode I'd give like a 6. This one I'd give like an 8. I think this episode was really solid. It would have been a 10 if Aang was remotely enjoyable to watch on screen. And I feel so shitty doing that too. Like, I know there are going to be people that comment and are like, why are you ragging on this kid? Like, he's not that bad. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy like saying things about the kid. Like, I'm sure he's a fantastic kid. I'm sure he's a genuinely great person, and I hope he improves as he gets older. But right now, in this season, the performance leaves a lot to be desired, and not just like, hey, he could be better. He's actively bad. And it's tough. It's tough. That's the only element of the show that I dislike is the main character. Everything else is working for me, except that. But yeah, I mean, as always, I'm gonna hold out hope that he gets better. But otherwise, I'm gonna focus on the aspects of the show that I do enjoy, like legitimately, really like. Like the Zuko and Iroh elements made me cry in this episode. So yeah, I'm gonna try and be more positive going forward, but some of it is a bit of a struggle. I think that's all I have to say about this episode. Definitely let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. I'm very curious to hear your opinions. Otherwise, if you enjoyed my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon or joining YouTube memberships. You just sync up your own copy of the show and you can watch along with me. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.